Insta360 One X2. Wow. Whoa.
Goodies. Oh wow.
Wow.
Big battery.
That is the battery is like attached with the door, which is actually kind of sick. That's so much better. All right, so the battery's dead, so we can't actually test this out right now. We can charge up the battery and find something to shoot tomorrow, and I guess we'll just clean this mess up.
What mess?
Allow me to show you. This mess. I am not a tech YouTuber. I don't care about spec sheets or future firmware updates. I don't care about almost anything besides how does this tool fit into my workflow of creating videos. But I also want to touch on who this camera is a good fit for, because I actually think there's two very distinct types of people that are going to make great use of this camera. My first foray into the world of 360 video was like 2.5 years ago with the launch of the original Insta360 One X. The form factor was fantastic. Like I would just put it onto the end of the selfie stick and it could fit anywhere in my bag, sometimes in the water bottle holder, or often even just, you open the bag like a clamshell, it's full of gear, you just stick it on top, close the bag, ba-boom. It was a camera that I never even thought about whether to bring or not because it was just so small and slim and slender and wonderful. And what I was mainly using it for was for the Instagram stories that I was creating daily. And what was great about it is that with these stories, I was always trying to like one-up myself and come up with new ways to make my stories interesting and unique so that I wasn't just falling into this like stagnant formulaic way of creating videos. And the One X did such a good job for me of just being able to get shots that I couldn't get before, but then also in this time I was flying a lot. Remember flying? That was nice. And I would be able to get shots of myself editing on a plane, for example, and I would just have the camera on a selfie stick, sometimes hold it with my feet just as far away from me as I could so I could get an ultra wide shot of myself in a way that no action camera before could get for me because it was just so wide. Also, if you saw those Instagram stories, you know that I went kind of overboard on doing these in-camera transitions for a little while. And what was fun about this was often I would forget to shoot like the opening of a transition or the ending of a transition in my camera. And the amount of times the One X actually saved me because in post you could digitally have it whip, tilt, pan in any direction. It made it look like I messed up filming far less often than I actually did. And this is an important point, which is that I don't really refer to myself as a filmmaker. I just like to tell people I make internet videos. So that's the perspective I'm coming from, as someone who's trying to create unique content on all sorts of social platforms that aren't really films. They're not movies, they're not narrative. So what I love about 360 cameras is about all the creative possibilities that it opens up for you, because it's not about where's the camera pointing, it's entirely about where can you get the camera. And with cameras like this, you can get them a lot of weird places. Christoph, I need gaff tape. I don't want to tape this just to my spine. Okay, so you just get it right there. I think there are two main types of people that are going to use this camera. The second group of people is like people like myself, like internet video creators. But the first group of people is actually not necessarily photographers or filmmakers. It's just people that are looking to have fun. And with these cameras, there is a lot of fun to be had. When you connect the Insta360 One X2 to your phone into the app, it gives you all sorts of options for like really interesting, unique types of shots. Things like dolly zooms and hyperlapses and bullet time. Types of shots that were traditionally reserved for like much bigger, more expensive, and more experienced filmmakers. And what this camera opens up for just more like regular people or people just getting started is the option to create content, probably for social media, that really stands out and kind of wows people. Now, the other types of people that I'm thinking of that'll like this camera are people like myself. People that probably aren't actually going to use those automated AI features in the app all that often. And that's because we really crave creative control. It's not all about simplicity necessarily. It's about options.
Hi, how can I help you? Can I get a Big Mac combo? Thank you.
So we're on our way into Toronto right now to meet up with my friend, John Simo. I'm sure if you're watching Insta360 One X2 videos, you've probably seen him already. John Simo is not just a fantastic photographer and filmmaker, but I think of him as like a digital artist. You know, the things that he thinks of and the pieces that he puts together for brands like Red Bull and BMW and Panasonic are just so unique, and they're types of shots that I've never seen before. And I'd love to just pick his brain a little bit about the Insta360 because he is one of the most inspiring creators, especially with 360 videos, but as a whole in general. So here's John. What up? Mr. Simo, nice to see you.
Hello.
We've been together for a while, so this is a weird introduction.
We just finished running around in circles.
Yeah. So here it is, Insta360 One X2.
Yeah, the brand new one. It's a whole new way to think about capturing because you're literally seeing everything. More than even you can see, right?
Yeah.
Like you can see behind your own head, essentially.
Right.
And you have from an 8mm to a 50mm lens all baked into this.
Yeah.
Because you can reframe.
Right.
Because the resolution is so high. Yeah, so this has really opened the doors for creating unique content that sort of sets me apart from the rest. I was hired to make a Toyota spot and I had to capture a lot of drone footage, but like, you know, it's very difficult to shoot drone footage in the city. It's illegal.
Right, it's difficult. I mean illegal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So what I did is I took this camera, I took a long pole and I literally stuck it out the window.
Yeah.
And then you can just reframe. The pole lives in the stitch line so it's invisible.
Right.
And I have drone footage
That's
without
amazing.
breaking the law.
It's
Like no
so
one's gonna
rad.
arrest me for holding a pole out of a window. And they pretty much improved it in every way.
Yeah, I mean, what I loved is like I would just screw the selfie stick in and it basically just makes the selfie stick that much bigger.
Yeah.
And then I would just stab it into the water bottle pouch or like whatever spot in my bag, like, cause it could fit on top of all your gear and then just flap it shut and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I took that camera with me everywhere. And the only real drawbacks for me was like, I wanted a bit better quality anyways. And there's actually like the water protection and the battery life were the biggest things for me. I wanted to take it snowboarding and I was always worried. I didn't want to add a case because then it loses that simplicity for me. And even today I was walking out to the car and it started raining and I was like, oh yeah, this camera is fine now. And I know like the 1R was water resistant and stuff, but in my head I'm still treating this like a 1X. So it's been very exciting for me to have a camera that's like better built, more rugged, can actually withstand the elements to some degree. I guess we'll find out how much. But has that same form factor that I loved.
Yeah.
So starting with a really nice 5.7K image, which is now actually at a higher bit rate, so you're gonna get more detail, it's gonna hold together better. You can bring that into your video editor and just start experimenting. And the more you experiment with it, the more ideas you're going to come up with it, because you realize, I didn't think about if you got it that far away from you, or if you held it this close to you, or if you passed it through a fence, or if you stuck it 20 feet up, all the types of angles you can get. I've talked a lot about the original Insta360 One X because this camera represents like a new type of filmmaking for me. It really opened up new possibilities. I, personally, was not a huge fan of the 1R And it's just because I am such an unbelievably unorganized and chaotic person that having more pieces just kind of stressed me out and meant more of a mess, more things to remember. But the problem was when I was packing, I would bring this. This is one of Peter McKinnon's little pneumatic bags. And inside of it, I kept all the little, you know, there's the 1-inch module, there's a double charger, some extra batteries. But in order to bring the camera with me, I brought this entire thing. Whereas with the original 1X, and now even more so with the 1X2, I just take the little lens cover, pop it on, toss it on the selfie stick, and then this will just go along the side of my bag or on top of everything. And I always have it ready just in case there's like one random shot that I think of while I'm out. The camera now also has a little display which is circular, and at first I was like, that's bizarre. But for 360 video, it actually makes a lot of sense, and it's fun that you can, you know, move around what you're looking at. But the main reason I like having a display so much is just for that peace of mind to know that you're in the right record setting, and also that the exposure is looking good and it's gonna work to what you have imagined in your head. I almost forgot to mention, one of the coolest new features for me is this new mode called Steadicam mode. But what you do is you just tap this little 360 button, and that switches it into like a single lens mode. So here, let me turn this around for you. So now the camera is recording just a normal one lens. It's gonna give you a normal MP4 file. It's more like a traditional action camera, except it's way wider and so incredibly stable. And then aside from that, it's just more of what I grew to love with 360 video, and then a little bit better in every way. You know, the bit rate's better, the stabilization, which was already incredible, has been improved. The tracking features in the app are improved, and they're constantly adding new interesting types of shots that they can do with this kind of like AI, machine learning, other hype words type of thing. I mean, that's about it. What I think is awesome about it is that the camera works great for beginners that are just like looking to have fun with video or looking to have fun with like creating interesting social content. But it also is a fantastic tool for really talented video creators, for really talented editors. It fits a lot of spaces along the skill train. Me, personally, I'm a big fan of this camera, and it's gonna fit into my everyday workflow. This thing's gonna live in my bag. I don't know if it will for you, but it might. I've got a link down in the description. I haven't even set up an affiliate link with them. I should probably do that. Go check it out, see if you like it. I really like it. I really like you. Thank you for watching. You are a good person. I love you. See you later. Oh, I hit record on the Ninja this time.